All right, guys, we are going to be reacting to Americans took over Oktoberfest. Germans have been lying about the real beer event. We're going to react to this. I don't know what the hell this has to do with whether now Oktoberfest is the real thing or not. We're going to simply jump in here and see what's going on. Let's go.
2 months ago, I was standing on a hillside in Germany, holding a liter of beer and surrounded by about 1 million Germans and almost no tourists. Which is strange, because I was at the oldest beer festival in the world. It's older than Oktoberfest by 55 years. And in 7 years of living in Germany, not one person had ever told me it existed. As I found out, there's a reason, or should I say 3 reasons, why Germans don't want tourists, or should I say American tourists, to find out about this festival. But before I get into that, if you don't know my name, I'm Liz. I'm from Florida in the US. I moved to Germany 7 years ago and never left. This is my channel, Untold Abroad, where I like to talk about what it's like to build a life in Germany and how German I've become. By the way, I've seen that 95% of you who are watching aren't subscribed to my channel.
Subscribe to my channel as well, man. Subscribe to her channel, subscribe to my channel.
If you do like some of these videos, one click helps more than you think. Thank you so much for your support. So why do Germans not want Americans to find out about this beer festival, which is, yes, reportedly the oldest in the world? Well, reason number 1, the magic disappears when everyone knows about it. The festival is called Bergkirchweih. Locals call it Batch. I believe I'm saying that correctly. It runs for 12 days starting the Thursday before Pentecost in Erlangen, which is in Franconia, which is in the northern part of the German state of Bavaria. And no, the people there do not want to be called Bavarians. I made a whole video about that, and I'll link that below. Anyways, the festival is about 20 minutes north of Nuremberg, and it is not a small village party. It's a full Volksfest stretched over a kilometer of hillside with a Ferris wheel, rides, food stands, and live music every night. But really, the heart of the festival is the Keller, which means cellar in English. Centuries ago, brewers dug cellars straight into the sandstone hill so they could keep the beer cold through the summer. Some of those tunnels run more than 100 meters into the hill.
Wow, really? I did not know that. Wow, really? Any reason? But it really... Hold up. So putting the beer on the underneath, right, a couple feet, I would say, really keeps... Hold on, like, what did she say? Hold on.
Beer cold through the summer. Some of the cellars straight into the sandstone hill so they could keep the beer cold
straight the sandstone hills to keep the beer cold.
Brewers dug cellars straight into the sandstone hill so they could keep the beer cold through the summer. Some of those tunnels run more than 100 meters into the hill. The little wooden cellar
and the beer will be cold.
Houses built on top of them are protected today as historic monuments. At the festival, people sit on long benches under old chestnut and linden trees. There are more than 11,000 outdoor seats up on the hill, which makes it one of the largest open-air beer gardens in Europe. And in March of this year, the Bergkirchweih was added to Bavaria's official register of intangible cultural heritage for the first time in its history. So the people who run this festival went out and had it formally recognized as something that needs protecting. I really got a sense when I was there that nobody is really performing German culture for anybody. People are sitting outside on a hill after work. The only thing that might be a little performative is the fact that everyone does dress up in dirndl and lederhosen, which are traditionally Bavarian clothing, but we're not going to talk about that. And maybe that's also why locals might be a little worried that Bergkirchweih will be what happened to Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest is a global brand now, with tent reservations people fight over months in advance, and tourists who plan an entire trip around it, especially American tourists. At the Bergkirchweih, you walk up and you find a bench, which leads me to reason number 2. But first, I have to let you guys know about today's sponsor. This video is sponsored by Renpho. Renpho sent me their
Renpho? Huh.
Iris One eye massager to try. Obviously, my first reaction was confusion. A massager for my eyes? But I've been struggling with puffy, dry, tired eyes from hours of sitting in front of my computer and editing videos for YouTube.
Right here. Look at that. I do a lot of videos, man. Look at it.
So I definitely gave it a go, and I was so surprised. So let me tell you guys a little bit about this device. The Iris One targets the acupoints around your eyes with a combination of gentle massage and trigger point compression.
Oh, that's
It
good,
also
man.
has a heating function that holds a steady
How did
40 to
she
45 degrees Celsius.
how did she manage to get that advertisement?
So
That
the warmth
sponsor.
stays on your eyelids and temples for the whole session instead of fading after a minute. And it connects over Bluetooth, so you can play your own music through the built-in speakers while it's working. It folds 180 degrees flat, it's light, and the strap adjusts so it's easy to pack for the office or for a flight. I've been using the Iris One when I want to unwind or have been feeling stressed. Sometimes even before bed, I'll have a 15-minute little session that is totally relaxing. For me, it's made a real difference on the eye strain and the puffiness. If you want to try the Renpho Iris One eye massager, there's a link in the description. Please go check it out. Thank you again to Renpho for supporting today's video, which leads me to reason number 2. Tourists, and especially American tourists, drive the prices up. Americans tend to treat Oktoberfest as a bucket list trip, and people on a bucket list trip are not price sensitive. They will pay whatever the tent charges because they're doing this once. But here's what that does. A Maß, which is a liter of beer, at the Bergkirchweih this year costs between 12 euros and 14.50, depending on which cellar, keller you sat at. At Oktoberfest this year, the range is 1480 to 1590, and most of the big tents are at the top of it. So Bergkirchweih is offering liters 4 euros cheaper than in Munich, and Munich's beer price went up again this year, like it does every year. But at Bergkirchweih, most sellers kept their prices the same, and that didn't happen by accident. After several years of steep increases, the cellar hosts formed their own association to deal with the city directly and negotiate the fees they pay, with the stated goal of keeping Bergkirchweih affordable enough that everyone can still come. And there's a rule at the festival that I still find hard to believe. You're allowed to bring your own food to the benches and also to the different kellers. People carry up their own Brotzeit, buy the beer, and sit there for 5 hours. Try walking into a Munich beer tent with a bag of bread and sausage from home. That's why locals go after work on a Tuesday. Bergkirchweih stays alive because the people who built it can still afford to show up. And reason number 3, they don't want to lose their corner of Germany. At Bergkirchweih, you hear Franconian, which is a dialect that plenty of Germans from other parts of the country probably can't follow either. Once a place becomes famous online, the crowd changes and the festival starts catering to the new crowd instead of the people who built it. Oktoberfest is the case study. Roughly a quarter of its 6.5 million visitors now come from abroad. And by the city of Munich's own count, Americans are the largest foreign group there. One mobile data analysis put the number of Americans at Oktoberfest at around 175,000 in a single year, ahead of Italy and the UK. Oktoberfest began as a regional agricultural fair with a horse race, and it's now a global party with a marketing department. The other half of this is...
Look at that. How do you call this, man? I forgot. Ooh, what's the name of this? Pretzel. Wow, that's a big one. Wow. Damn, man, that's a big one. Wow.
Franconia. Franconians are protective of their identity in a way that surprises people, including other Germans. They have their own dialect, their own beer culture, and something like 1,000 breweries
shout out to Germans,
their
really.
own dialect, their own beer culture, and something like 1,000 breweries in the region alone. Handing their festival over to international interpretation is not something that crowd is going to volunteer for. Which brings me to the obvious problem with this video. I just told people about a festival whose best quality is that outsiders haven't found it yet. But I know that eventually the word might get out about Bergkirchweih. I mean, it already gets 1 million visitors a year. So I wanted to caution any tourists to go the way locals go. Go on a Tuesday, bring your own Brotzeit, sit at the cheap keller, and enjoy. And maybe don't tell anyone I sent you. Guys, I obviously think it's great that international people, especially Americans, are interested in German culture, but of course there's always pros and cons to tourists discovering things and, you know, quote unquote ruining them. I see Bergkirchweih as this super regional festival that the locals love and that lots of Germans love. I think most locals may want to keep it a secret because Maybe they don't want their festival to turn into what Oktoberfest turned into. Germans, you have to tell me, have you heard about Bergkirchweih? Do you think there are better beer festivals in Germany? You need to tell me in the comments. Americans, internationals, would you want to go to Bergkirchweih? Tell me below. And
if it is a smaller version than the Oktoberfest, I will be more interested to go something like that instead of going to a heavier Oktoberfest. Does that make sense? Like going to the Oktoberfest is for me is a little heavier, a little bit heavier. However, me going to something like this, where it's a little bit smaller, I think it'll be fine with me. I don't know. I'm that type of guy, and I do think she has some um, she has some good points here. You always have that. How can I say this? How can I say this? Problem with foreigners coming in, especially when it comes down to a tradition like this. It can happen. It can happen. However, I think it's all depends. It all depends how the local population might feel about receiving people from other countries and stuff like that. But overall, it seemed like they were having a lot of fun. So that's one thing. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and shout out to her. I'm going to leave her link in the description down below. That way you guys can go and show some support as well. I'll see you in the next one.